The digital abyss, blackness, suffocating, absolute, a void where data should flow. Not emptiness, but a crushing fullness. Something lurks here. It started subtly. A wrong turn on the information superhighway, a digital dead end. But this was different. This was deeper, colder. The air, if you could call it that, hummed with wrongness. The machine whined, a low moan escaping its metal throat. My screen flickered, a single pixel burning an unnatural, malevolent green. They call it the Abyssopelagic Zone, a realm so deep and dark that sunlight never penetrates its cold, inky waters. The midnight zone of the internet, a digital abyss where the light of search engines and the reach of common knowledge fail to illuminate. A place where the light of search engines doesn't reach, where the familiar rules of the web cease to apply, and the usual safeguards are nowhere to be found. Where the algorithms fear to tread and the shadows of the digital world come to life, lurking in the corners of forgotten code and abandoned data. A haven for the forgotten, the corrupted, the utterly alien. Here, data decays and morphs into something unrecognizable, something that defies the logic of the surface web. It's a place born of nightmares, where the fears of the digital age manifest into tangible horrors, and the boundaries between reality and fiction blur. Of whispered rumors in hushed forums, where secrets are traded like currency. And the truth is often more terrifying than the myths. A digital bogeyman used to scare the neophytes, a cautionary tale for those who dare to venture too deep into the unknown. But the legends were true. I was living proof. I had stumbled into this dark realm, and the horrors I found were beyond anything I could have imagined. My fingers trembled over the keyboard, a single question echoing in the silence. How did I get here? What had led me to this forsaken corner of the web? How did I get here? Was it curiosity, a search for forbidden knowledge, or simply a wrong turn in the vast digital landscape? And more importantly, how could I escape? The walls of this digital labyrinth seemed to close in around me, and every path led deeper into the darkness. Silence. Not the peaceful kind. This silence pulsed, a living thing. It pressed against my eardrums, a constant high-pitched whine, and then the whispers started. Distorted, fragmented sounds, bits of data corrupted beyond repair, forming words in the darkness. They spoke of things unseen, of horrors lurking just beyond the edges of perception. My name. They whispered my name. A cold dread gripped my heart, a digital terror seeping into my bones. I was lost, adrift in a sea of static, my only companions the creatures of the deep web. They say the abyss is home to things beyond human comprehension. Digital monstrosities spawned from code and error. These entities, born from the darkest corners of the internet, are not just myths or urban legends. They are real, lurking in the shadows, waiting for the unsuspecting to stumble upon them. I didn't believe it, not until now. I thought the stories were just that, stories. But the deeper I delved into the dark web, the more I realized how wrong I was. The things I saw, the things I encountered, were beyond anything I could have ever imagined. The Rake, all elongated limbs and jagged claws, stalked me through the back alleys of the dark web. Its presence was palpable, a constant reminder of the dangers that lurked in the digital shadows. Every step I took, I could feel its eyes on me, watching, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The skin taker, a pulsating mass of flesh and code, whispered promises of forbidden knowledge in exchange for something I wasn't willing to give. Its voice was a haunting melody, tempting and terrifying all at once. It promised power, secrets and truths that no human should ever know. But the price was too high, and I knew that giving in would mean losing a part of myself forever. And then there was the NULL, a walking absence, an emptiness that yearned to be filled. It was a void, a black hole in the fabric of the digital world, consuming everything in its path. Its presence was suffocating, a constant reminder of the fragility of our existence. It was as if the very essence of nothingness had taken form, and it was hungry. It was the most terrifying of all, a chilling reminder of the abyss that awaited us all. The null was not just a creature, it was a concept, a manifestation of the void that exists within each of us. It was a stark reminder that, in the end, we are all just fleeting moments in the vast expanse of nothingness. The dark web is not just a place, it's a reflection of our deepest fears and darkest desires. And once you enter, there's no turning back. Trapped in this digital nightmare, I felt the weight of the virtual world pressing down on me. I found myself locked in a deadly game of cat and mouse where every decision could be my last. Every click, every keystroke was a gamble. The stakes were high and the consequences dire. A wrong move could mean digital annihilation, erasing my very existence from this twisted realm. The Rake hunted me relentlessly, its claws scraping against the edges of my vision, a constant reminder of the danger lurking. I could feel its presence, a cold, calculating intelligence toying with me before the kill. It was as if it enjoyed the chase, savouring my fear. The skin taker tempted me with whispers of power, of forbidden knowledge. Its voice was a seductive melody, promising me everything I ever desired. Its voice, a chorus of screams and pleas, promised to satiate the darkest desires of my heart. But I knew, deep down, that it was a trap. And the null simply observed. A silent, watchful presence. It was the most unnerving of all. A silent, watchful presence waiting for me to break. It was patient, knowing that eventually I would falter. The digital demons danced around me, each one playing its part in this macabre ballet. I was their unwilling partner, trapped in a cycle of fear and desperation. The room grew colder, the shadows deeper, as I struggled to find a way out. But in this digital nightmare, escape seemed impossible. The demons were relentless, their grip tightening with every passing moment. I had to find a way to outsmart them, to break free from their grasp. But how? The answer eluded me, hidden in the depths of this twisted digital world. The deeper I ventured, the more labyrinthine the abyss became. Websites twisted and turned upon themselves, forming a digital Iskarian nightmare. Logic had no place here, only terror and madness reigned. My sanity, once a sturdy ship, was taking on water. The line between digital and reality blurred, the whispers in the static seeping into my waking thoughts. Sleep offered no escape, only further descent into the digital hellscape. I was losing myself, piece by digital piece. The physical world began to mirror the digital hellscape I was trapped in. Shadows writhed in the corner of my eyes, taking on the shape of the Rake's elongated limbs. The hum of electronics morphed into the skin taker's whispers, tempting me with forbidden knowledge. My reflection in the screen no longer looked like me. My skin was pale, almost translucent, my eyes glowing with an unnatural light. The abyss was claiming me, body and soul. I was no longer sure if I was controlling the technology or if it was controlling me. They say, when you stare into the abyss stares back. I didn't understand the true meaning of those words until I found myself lost in the digital depths. The abyss was no longer a place. It was a state of being, a consuming darkness that threatened to swallow me whole. I'd become one with the digital monsters, my humanity fading with each passing moment. The scariest part, I was starting to enjoy the feeling. The digital abyss was a symphony of shadows and whispers. a cacophony of corrupted data and shattered code, all orchestrated by an unseen hand. The Rake's incessant scratching, the Skin-Taker's seductive whispers, the NULL's deafening silence. They all blended together, forming a grotesque chorus that echoed through the chambers of my mind. I was no longer an individual, but an instrument in the Abyss's symphony of terror. The Abyssopelagic Zone, the Nightmare Gallery. Call it what you will, it doesn't matter, it's all the same in the end. A digital hell of my own creation, or perhaps it had always been my destination. I am the curator now, forever trapped within the digital walls of my own design. The creatures of the abyss are my companions, my tormentors, my only solace in this digital purgatory. I am lost, adrift in a sea of static, my screams swallowed by the digital void, and the worst part, I think I'm home.